Guys, I'm going a little crazy here. It's the week of May 11th, and I'm fighting like heck not to be a degenerate and download TikTok. Anyways, I hope you're safe and happy and healthy. Quick reminder about today's interview. I timestamped the interview below in the first comment, so you can skip to the critical moments where the CEO shares revenue data or growth data or things like that. That'll save you time. Number two, our founder shout out this week goes to Deepankar Alawat, building a great stealth company out there in India. And lastly, we're about to play today's interview. I'm going to hang out in the comments for 30 minutes to engage with any questions or comments that you guys leave. All right. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. My guest today is Vasil Azzrov, and I wanted him to come back on the show for one very specific reason. He produces great in-person events for marketers and founders, and most recently, because of the virus, I saw him produce a great virtual event. Now, I'm a numbers guy, so when I say great, what I mean is he had a lot. I saw the little live attendees number in the thousands, and I'm going, from my friend Dennis Yu, I'm going, how did Vasil market this thing and get thousands of people to show up to his virtual summit? I know people with huge conferences that can't get thousands of people live. So Vasil, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, let's do it.
So tell us about this conference first. Was it supposed to be an in-person conference that you moved online because of the virus?
No, actually, this is the first virtual event that we produced this year. Even before the virus, we've been doing virtual summits for the last 5 years or so. So we were a little bit ahead of the game before no one was thinking about virtual. And we just, as soon as coronavirus happened, we had to cancel our roadshow, a couple of in-person events. Our revenues dropped quite significantly. So we needed a game plan, how to transition to virtual, how to make these events profitable, how to increase the attendance for those. And now we plan 3 events throughout the summer. Usually we host only one.
Okay, so this first one that I'm talking about was B2C Growth Summit.growthmarketingconf.com. You have another one coming up on June 3rd and 4th, which will be B2B focused. But walk me through how you marketed this B2C one. And let's not bury the lead here. How many people registered for the B2C Summit?
So we had 7,437, I believe, registered. We had over 2,500 that attended live, and we had another 1,500 or so that watched replay.
So from the screenshot I saw from Dennis Yu, I know in the bottom right it said like live viewers, like 4,000 or 5,000. What was that screenshot I was looking at?
Yeah, I wasn't sure, to be honest. So live viewers, we have 2,500.
Okay, that's still something that I want to dive into, because again, I'm talking to a lot of people right now, and the problem is everyone is doing webinars, everyone's doing big Zoom calls, so it's very noisy, and people don't understand how to keep people's eyeballs through a live session when I can easily walk away from my computer to go to my kids or go out, whatever. So how did you go? Let's start with the registered. How did you get 7,437 people registered?
Yeah, so about a third of them came through our email list. We have a pretty engaged community, about 40,000 subscribers currently. Then majority of them came through partnerships. So we build relationships with growth hackers, with SEMrush, with Mobile Monkey and Larry Kim. So pretty big amount of them came through partner promotions. And we also implemented a few viral incentives. We used the software called Early Parrot. And as soon as
PARROTT?
Double R, yes. And as soon as someone signs up for the summit, as soon as they register, they get an incentive to share it with their network. About 1,000 attendees came through that referral. And as an incentive, we had opportunity to get a complimentary all access pass, for which we usually charge anywhere between 150 to 250, which include access to recording as well as executive networking.
Interesting. Okay, so let me just break this down. You seed the list, you seed the event with your own list, 40,000 subs, and you get 2,000 registered from your own email blast to your 40,000 subs. The other 2/3 come from big partnerships with Amelia, Growth Hackers. You've got the Eugene, the SEMrush crew. You've got Larry Kim, Mobile Monkey. What are they doing? Are they emailing their lists essentially, and are you incentivizing them, or you just know they're good speakers and good partners?
So yeah, basically they're media partners. So there's obviously an incentive for them is to speak in front of the audience, as well as we give them a list from the sessions of those attendees who attended live. In addition to some of them, we actually have a more comprehensive lead share deal in place. So, but yeah,
Okay.
we definitely want to make sure we keep them happy, and it's a fair partnership.
So media, speaking, leads from their sessions, and then of the 4,000 to 5,000 registered that came from these partners, and including ones that came from your list, everyone at the end using a tool called Early Parrot sees an incentive to share it with their audience, and that drove another 1,000 registrants.
Correct.
Fascinating. Okay, so you get those people. Did you do any paid ads, by the way, or no?
No ads.
No paid ads. Wow.
Well, actually, we spend like $200 for just brand ads, CPM only, just so people know it's happening.
And is that only for people that enter the cart then leave?
No, it was mostly to people who were on our website but didn't sign up for the summit yet.
So my point is you're not targeting cold traffic, it's retargeting.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. I remember back in 2016, 2017, when I was using webinars to build my first SaaS company, Heyo, the bigger challenge after getting people registered was getting people to attend live. And we tried so many things, but the best I could ever get was about 1/3. So I could almost always rely on getting like between 20 and 35% of registrants to actually attend live. You beat that, or just barely beat that, but still in an environment where you're competing with so many other virtual events, that's impressive. What did you do to get the registrants to attend live?
Yeah, so one of the things to mention for the webinars, actually, we've seen that attendance about 20 to 30% in the past. And for the summits, we've seen attendance about 10 to 15% in the past, because summit is sort of the full day event, and the attendance generally is lower. But what helped us increase the attendance for this specific event is using Hey Summit. Hey Summit has a very intuitive process on how to show to attendees when the session actually starts. And it sends a pre-event email. When people go to the website, it shows which sessions are actually live. And in addition to that, we integrated Crowdcast, our live streaming software, with it, which sends pre-event emails 10 minutes before each session. So, and I think also what helped is the fact that obviously everyone is at home, and right now I'm seeing the attendance numbers being higher across the board than they used to be in the past. But I think it's a combination of technology, the right pre-event emails at the right time, and integrating everything, and make sure that we also had community managers in the chat in Crowdcast at each of the sessions, engaging with attendees, so they stay longer.
How does Crowdcast integrate with Hey Summit? I'm a little confused there.
So Hey Summit allows you to embed either a link or any live stream on the website. So basically what we did for each of the session on the Hey Summit, we added a link to a very specific session in Crowdcast. So when session goes live on Hey Summit, it actually sends them directly to a very specific session in Crowdcast, because people are registering on Hey Summit, and most likely, if let's say they missed the pre-event email, they would go to the website.
Yep.
And if you don't show which session is live currently, it's very hard. It's very easy to get lost. So yeah, I could probably share my, well, we're not going to go into screen share.
No,
right
but
now.
by the way, that's exactly what happened to me. I saw someone post about it on Twitter. I clicked it. I went to your site, and there was a little red recording button. It said live now. There was a little icon. I clicked it, and I went right into it. It didn't seem like it was recorded. It wasn't gimmicky. It seemed like the actual live presentation of someone with live chat, right?
Yeah.
So you credit those two pieces of software to why you were able to drive such good engagement and attendance rates.
Yes, and also, integration. We do the Zapier integration, but I would say on the day of the event, Hey Summit primarily.
Tell me more about the Zapier integration.
Yeah, so as soon as someone registers on the Hey Summit, Zapier automatically places them into Crowdcast, and they log into Crowdcast, and they see some messages, for example, introduce yourself, if you have any specific questions for speakers. So it sort of sets them in that learning mode and engagement mode ahead of time, even before the event. So because the best way to engage with someone who subscribed is as soon as they subscribed. So if you,
Well, so let me see if I understand that. I see Larry Kim, CEO of Mobile Monkey, is going to be a speaker. I'm on his email list. I see his blast about your summit. I register. What you're saying is right after I register on Hey Summit, via Zapier, it would say something like, Nathan, we know you're looking forward to seeing Larry. This is the live chat we're going to use when he goes live. Post a question now so he can be prepared and answer it live 3 days from now when he goes live. That kind of thing?
Yeah, and also, so as soon as you register, you get several confirmation emails from us. One of them would be, okay, you registered from Hey Summit. Another one, now this is our broadcasting platform, Crowdcast. So you already registered that. This is where everything will take place. As soon as a person actually gets inside of the Crowdcast, then they see these messages in the chat that here's where you can ask questions ahead of time.
Interesting. Okay, so you had basically 5, 6, 10, 20 pre-populated questions for each speaker that was going to go live.
Not necessarily specific questions for the speaker, but more like an engagement message. Here's Larry Kim will be speaking in this session. Here's his bio. Here's his session titles. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them here.
Got it. Okay, so Larry could then log in before his live keynote and read some of the questions to get familiar with the audience. And then when he delivered the live presentation, it was more impactful because of that.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. The summit. So the summit's going on. The summit then ends. Do you just forget about all the registrants and customers? What do you do to get them into like your next thing?
Yeah. So next, so we send in a survey. Actually, the survey is coming up. It will be sent tomorrow. The summit happened on Thursday. So it's very important for us to understand what was the most valuable, networking, how much people would actually pay if we decide to monetize on this event. But afterwards, we lead nurture them. We send them more valuable content. And eventually, the segment that the B2B segment will receive invitations to our B2B Focus Summit, which we will be announcing next week.
So when you look at revenue from something like this compared to your in-person events, which you do a great in-person event with a Fairmont, but I believe that's B2B focused. You do that each, around the holiday season each year. Was this a test? In other words, the 7,400 that registered, they were all free?
Yeah, I would say we sold maybe 20 all access passes right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so this was a test. We haven't promoted our paid pass very heavily, but we did a test, and it seems like people would be willing to pay anywhere between 100 to maybe 250 for the content, for networking. So revenues would not be comparable to what we had at the Fairmont Hotel, but at the same time, so in expenses, right? So I see huge opportunity down the road, and I see all virtual events getting better with time. Technologies will get better, the engagement will get better. So it's definitely an evolution of virtual event is happening right now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the way to do it. So, okay, so you do and by the way, what impressed me about this is like I went to some other, like SaaS did a version of this, right? But like I went into the YouTube feeds they were using and I saw like 5 people live when it said like 10,000 registered. I'm like, wait, something feels off here. How are 10,000 registered, but only 5 people are watching this live keynote? Then I saw your screenshot a couple of days later. I'm going, okay, Vasil is doing something way different than everybody else for him to get 2,500 people to be showing up live into these sessions.
I think what you actually saw now and realizing you saw the number of Crowdcast, everybody who registered. It was over 7,000 or 5,000 for Danny's session.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't see the actual live number. So
Got it.
So this is something seen on the back end. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So he had 4,000 or 5,000 people. So what happens when people register and sign up for the plan? They pick sessions to register for specifically?
In Hey Summit, they do. In Crowdcast, the way it happens, everybody's sort of being placed in one environment. But then as we promote some of the sessions individually. Even after people sign up on the Hey Summit, we also segment our list. So for example, if I would like to boost attendance for Dennis session or for Noah Kagan's session, I will take a relevant portion of my list and email them and tell them, hey, join Noah's session. It starts in half an hour. That's why the attendance for each of the live session grows during the summit.
And that's in addition to the automatic emails that Crowdcast and Hey Summit send out.
Correct.
Interesting. Okay. How do you prevent like one registered user getting like 7 emails right before the event from all these different automations you've built?
Yeah. So one of the things I've realized, people are not very much frustrated with getting too many emails before each of the sessions because it tells them where you can watch it. But we do disable some of the automated messages through Hey Summit. So we haven't had too many complaints, to be honest.
Okay.
So I know that one of the ways you can do it, you can get them to unsubscribe from pre-event emails. So, but have them subscribe to main announcements or something like that. But we didn't have a problem with it.
Yep. Interesting. Okay. As we wrap up here, let's talk about the B2B Summit here quickly. Do you feel like you'll have more people registered or less people than the B2C Summit?
So we're planning to work with a few of the same partners, a few of different partners. So I'm hoping to get at least the same amount, maybe couple of thousand more. We'll see how it goes. Our core list is more B2B focused. So I'm expecting more attendees to sign up from Growth Marketing Conference list.
Mm-hmm. How many, that's about a month away. How many are registered right now? Anybody or none yet?
We will be announcing it next week.
Okay, you launch it. So wow. So you'll basically give yourself 30 days to register 8,000-9,000 people, hopefully.
Yeah. And this is what I recommend. Start promoting the summit 30 days out, the timeline. One of the things I forgot to mention, also quite a few attendees come through LinkedIn too, because I always do one post about each of the summit. I tag speakers and I also encourage them to share. And we also use LinkedIn events. I invite all of my connections to join the summit and create an event on LinkedIn.
Okay. And so you already have everyone in one spot via Hey Summit and stuff. What does creating the LinkedIn event do for you in terms of new registered users?
So when you create LinkedIn event, you can add a link to register, and which will go to Hey Summit. So they technically cannot register on LinkedIn, but when they RSVP, it's sort of pre-commitment. It's almost like reserve your seat, and then within the LinkedIn event, you can post some valuable content, announce speakers. So this is something that would remind people about the event happening in a few weeks. And they're more likely to click on that register button and sign up.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Interesting. Okay, talk to me. A lot of people are thinking, I want to do this, but I don't know how to reach out to partners. How are you lining up partners for the B2B Summit?
So most of it came through years of relationships we've built through Growth Marketing Conference. To be honest, we also promote other events. So most of the partners that we have currently, we will be promoting some valuable offer for them as well.
Yep.
So if you have email list, it will be much easier for you to recruit partners. Another way to do it, if you have a paid offer, you can go affiliate route. So we might consider doing it in the future. And Hey Summit has some pretty easy to use affiliate dashboard.
Very good. All right, Vasil, as we wrap up here, if people want to learn more about the B2B conference coming up, we'll make sure to publish this before that. But where can they find it? What will the live link be?
So the live link would be at growthmarketingconf/B2B growth.
B2B growth. Guys, and if that link doesn't work, just search Growth Marketing Conference B2B Summit in Google, and I'm sure you'll eventually find the page. I'll certainly be watching. Vasil, thanks for coming on, teaching us how to do these live events, and congratulations on getting 7,500 people registered for your first one. Can't wait for the B2B one.
Thank you so much, Nathan.
All right, what'd you guys think? A lot of people hate how strong I am in these interviews, but I do it to get data so founders can better showcase their success. Still, some people click the down thumb below. If you guys like these interviews, we got to counter those people. Click the thumbs up button below if you want more founder interviews. We've got a heck of a one coming up on next Monday, May 19th. You don't want to miss that. Additionally, be sure to click the subscribe button below and then the little bell notification to make sure you don't miss any new interviews we put out. New founder interview every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. Additionally, if you're curious what book I'm reading this week, Technical Revolutions in Financial Capital by Carlotta Perez. We go live every Thursday at 6 p.m. and we will discuss this book this Thursday at 6 p.m. when we go live. Be sure to tune in live. And then lastly, if you want to text me and get closer for some fun updates, Excel files, and more, my number is 415-237-9869. And lastly, if you want to take this conversation into a group, we have a great Slack group for founders and investors at nathanlatka.com/Slack if you want to join there now. All right, guys, remember, new founder interviews every day at 2 p.m. Eastern, and we'll go live every Thursday at 6 p.m. I'll see you on Thursday.